let's talk to my pundits about this. I think, well, we're all fans of the guy, aren't we? I'm devoted to him, Nina.
Me too.
Because I'm very passionate about obesity, which is a big problem in our country. He's one of the pioneers of the low-carbohydrate diet, of what they call intermittent fasting, which sounds very unhealthy, but I don't think it is. You're just eating in a smaller time window. This guy has changed lives, sold millions of books, and now he's gone missing.
He's touched everyone's lives. And I've always joked and said I've always thought he was a god. I think he's just fantastic. He's helped so many people. There are the 5-2 diet, which I've just lost 9 pounds doing that since Easter.
Amazing.
And my brother, who lives in New Zealand, who's a doctor, had to lose a lot of weight quickly for a hip operation, and he lost on the fast 800 diet. He lost 4 stone in less than 4 months.
That's
it was
ridiculous.
Exactly what he needed. But it's also the reverse of diabetics. But the thing is, he had this ability to connect with people. He has this ability to connect with people.
Yeah.
And to make things so much clearer to you, and just give you a simple way of helping yourself. And then, of course, he was a guinea pig. He'd throw himself. He used himself in all sorts of trials.
Yeah.
So, but even things like, should you take turmeric for muscle pain? And he had 3 different, root turmeric, powdered turmeric, or turmeric pills. Which is the most efficacious? Turns out turmeric pills. So, just little things like that. Then also the grand scale of having to reverse diabetes. That to me is beyond anything.
Well, exactly. Mosley is actually the guy that this country needs. We need him up and running. We need him active, because his health message has been very successful for people. The guy's on holiday. This is a tragedy. Can you imagine what his wife's going through?
It must be awful. And of course, his children are out there now.
Yeah.
They've flown out there to help their mother.
I think they've got 4 kids, haven't they?
4, yes. But I think the thing is, I'm sure it's to do with the heat.
Yeah.
The heat must have overcome...
35, 40 degrees?
Yes, and I think, perhaps he didn't realise the heat was so bad.
Yeah.
And that could have caused his mind to go, and he could have fallen, and there are lots of...
Yeah.
The terrain is terrible there, with lots of caves under the terrain. So it could easily that he could have fallen and into something which is, no one can see where he's fallen.
He was wearing a baseball cap and he had an umbrella, but he also had a rucksack, and hopefully in that rucksack he would have had water.
You would hope. Neil, we talked about this before the show. You've published some of the biggest showbiz stories in the last few decades as a national newspaper editor. How would you be handling this story right now?
Very carefully, but with great great feeling of trepidation.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things in this that ask other questions. So this is a very, very wise guy. He's a famous doctor. He's an experienced doctor. He's aware of how you conduct yourself in public life, as it were.
Correct.
So what I don't understand about this is, as far as I can see, I don't believe that he knows the island tremendously well. They're staying with some friends, apparently.
Right.
What I can't get my head around is why he would suddenly decide to walk back to a place that is quite a long way away, in searing heat.
Up to 3 miles.
With, we don't know whether he had any water or not. Hopefully he did. But he didn't have a mobile telephone. Now, if you're in potentially difficult terrain, that sort of beggars belief to me to a certain extent. And I just wonder whether we've just got an unfortunate whole series of mistakes, frankly. And once you get out in that heat on that kind of hillside, a little umbrella and a cap, the heat just assaults you.
Well, indeed. We can only pray for good news about Michael Mosley. I love the guy. I interviewed him on my old talk radio show. Such a gentleman, and he's changed so many lives. But listen, we'll be watching the news wires. Anything that comes in, you'll be the first to know.